He was a kind soul.
He was a very intuitive man.
Great human being.
Steve was an energizer.
Dr. Good is a part of the fabric of Drury.
Short, feisty, little guy, always has a bow tie on.
Steve was a short guy. He was a little guy. He is truly one of the giants of the university.
When I think of Stephen Good, I think of the job interview that I had with him in 1985. I was grilled on my doctoral dissertation.
He sat quietly for a very long time asking questions.
I was a little afraid of him the first time I met him because he was a very, very smart person.
I was nervous.
Frightening experience on one level, but then also just a tremendous experience because I came to see that this was a person with great intellectual curiosity and vitality.
Stephen Handsome Good, born 1942 in Columbus, Nebraska. He had been an English professor, department chair in Mount St. Mary's College, and the dean in Westmark College. In 1983, he made a life-changing decision. He came to Drury. 1983 was a turbulent time at Drury. Financial problems, falling enrollment, and low morale. The first priority for Good? Get the academic program in order, and the rest would follow.
And 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1.
Good sensed Drury needed a program that would set it apart from a multitude of small colleges in the United States. In 1990, the school began to work on a global perspective curriculum, known as GP21.
So why we should have Global Perspectives 21.
The key is the liberal arts are important to you.
Because he was convinced that you will be a better accountant or a better architect or a better broadcast journalist or a better English teacher if you have that breadth of knowledge that comes from the liberal arts. So more than anything else, he was fundamentally committed to the liberal arts.
We can teach you to draw a building, but will it be fine architecture? For that, you'll need to draw on a background in history, in art, in music, and in science.
He recognized that in an institution like Drury, the potential genius of the place was to blend that strong liberal arts commitment with a comparable commitment to preparing young people for careers and professions.
But it was not easy. Faculty were debating.
Debate about, well, how many courses do you have, and how many are in the sciences, and how many are in the humanities? There was also this question about working within your discipline versus being interdisciplinary.
And that was a very heated and contentious discussion. And he wasn't afraid of that.
Steve was not uncomfortable in standing his ground or in pushing, or, you know, that he was in there in the fray.
After 5 years of planning, the GP21 program was launched in 1995.
Our mission is to liberate persons to participate in and contribute to global community.
Go global. Dr. Good made the first effort in 1986.
Steve managed, for the first time in history, to get financial aid for a student who wanted to study abroad to apply to that particular experience. That had basically been not something a Drury student could do. He makes sure that students who really couldn't afford to go abroad were able to do that.
Each year since 2003, an academically successful student had the chance to go to another country because of the Steve Good Scholarship, a funding in honor of Dr. Steve Good for his dedication on the study abroad program.
He was a visionary. He was able to pull everybody in to the core idea of the GP21 program.
Our academic programs are better, our athletic programs are better, financially we're stronger. All of those things, I think, were in part shaped by the kinds of decisions he made.
Steve became really the dean's dean.
Steve made all of us want to meet his expectations.
The last thing I wanted to do was ever just disappoint Steve Good, to think I wasn't, doing the best that I could do.
We wanted to work hard and do things that would be in line with what his vision was for Drury, because we had such great respect for him.
He was not only a dean, he loved students.
He would talk to them and he would remember their name and he would remember what they were studying.
And kept them in mind.
He would say to me, okay, well, let's just talk about what the students would like.
He went to almost all of their concerts.
It was very unique if he was not there.
There were a couple things about Steve I never really understood. One is why he loved deep dish Chicago-style pizza, despite being a remarkably healthy person. And the other flaw in his personality is he was a Chicago Cubs fan.
Judy and I had laughed so many times about his passion for the Cubs that I just felt like that needed to be in there.
If you look right over here, you'll see it's really about the Chicago Cubs.
And in recognition of commitment to the liberal
In 2003, Dr. Good hosted a celebration for Harvey Asher for writing the book The Drury Story, while also celebrating his own 20th year at Drury.
Peter Browning started the program with a beautiful prayer. Among other things, he prayed for the dancers. On that note, enjoy.
It was also his 4th year of having cancer. Faculty knew that, and Dr. Good knew that too.
I think it's significant he didn't retire. Steve worked right through to the end.
My father was a very loving man.
Very caring, very concerned, always about the family.
He was the man having a tea party with the girls, took them for activities often, and made turkey for the family on Thanksgiving Day. He would send Valentine flowers to his daughters, written from Dad and Bill, his son.
We were hoping that the last treatment he could get better on it, but it didn't happen that way, so.
When we first talked about this, right after he died, what can we do as a university to honor his memory? His passing was sad, but his life was not. This then was a way for us to celebrate his life and to celebrate those things which he found most important.
Often during Steve Good's battle with cancer, I heard my colleagues ask, why doesn't he just retire? Invariably, it was explained, he is dean to the core, and that's true. True enough that he gave 100% to his work at Drury, but he was much more than a dean. He was a man of uncommon wisdom, tempered by an unfailing sweetness. His talents were extraordinary. Once when I came back to campus late from a conference, I called to explain that I might be delayed and asked that he get a message to my 8 a.m. art history class. I arrived 45 minutes late, but in time to catch the last 15 minutes of his wonderful lecture on Hogarth, complete with slides, pointer, and all the flourishes. It was amazing. He was a musician, a photographer, and many other things, including friend. In each of those roles, there was an absolute integrity, which was perhaps the thread which stitched it all together. I'll miss Steve Good profoundly.
The history of Drury is made up of the people who have been here. The success, the substance, the reputation of this institution is a function of the people who have served here, who have taught here, who have made it what it is. It's not the buildings, it's the people.
Drury, in part because he helped make it even stronger, will endure and will do great things for students who haven't even been born yet.
The most appropriate thing to say to anyone after a life well lived is thank you.
If it was within my power to have made the choice to never having known him or for him to have avoided cancer, I would have, with great regret, preferred not to have known him. But having known him when he had cancer, I am, and the university is so much better.
Thanking him for all the wise moments that I sat in his office looking for good advice on what to do in difficult situations.
We miss you, but we are so grateful for the years of commitment and for your vision and leadership.
I often will go sit on the bench with him and talk to him. I definitely miss Steve Good. He was a great friend.
He really was ahead of his time, and we really, really enjoyed having him as our dean, and we miss him.
Someone who too brought us into the 21st century, and was the right person at the right time.
Oh, Steve, look at what you've done. look at your work and see where we've taken it. I hope you would be happy.
Well done. You did a great job.
When we talked the last time, he said, well, partner, I'm about to finish the journey. And I would say to him, the journey has still gone on. And we think of you, strive to make good decisions in a way that you did, and that the legacy that you left for us is bigger than you would ever imagine.